Hello, everyone. My name is Seçil. I am the social labor manager in Bestseller, and I work in here for 13 years, and I'm very proud of that. Today, I'm excited to share with you the journey, how we connected the lean productivity with you, and also with human-centered communication, and how much stronger we become when dialogue and efficiency grow together. And here is the agenda for today. First, I will introduce my company and I will talk a bit about it. And then, of course, this implementation of the journey and the outcomes and insights and the recommendations and also the next steps. And the main point is about the value for employers, and also the supply chain. And then I will tell about the closing and the key learnings. So when we talk about Bestseller is a family-owned worldwide textile company, and we have a range for more than 20 individual fashion brands and approximately 3,000 branded retail stores in 44 countries globally, and over 20,000 global colleagues working across different business functions. And also we have 400 suppliers, and our products are manufactured at more than 700 factories and employing over 700,000 people across 23 countries. And if we talk about our brands, I said it's a very big textile company, Danish company. We have Jack and Jones, we have Only, and all the brands rely on a strong and stable supplier relationship. This is something very important for us, to have a good communication with our producers. And who we are, we have seven regional offices all around the world, and also especially in Bangladesh, in Turkey, in China, India, Myanmar, Pakistan, and Cambodia. We have these are our production countries. And we have merchandising teams in all our offices. We have supply chain teams, technical compliance team that are also checking the capacity and also the quality, environmental and chemical, and also the social labor departments we have. So this means cross-functional model. I mean, not only about the quality or the production, but also the support with the suppliers as multifunctional and holistically. And if we talk about Turkey, we have 64 factories in Turkey, and also we have some connected countries like East Europe, Middle East, like Egypt and Morocco, Tunisia, and also we have production connected to us in Portugal, Italy, and we have 18,327 number of workers in the factories now totally. So the main point in here, when we compare the male workers and female workers, in Turkey, we can say the most of the production is done by female workers. So the female workers quantity is high. So why we are here today and what I will try to tell you about. This is really the story of how we connected the lean productivity with human-centered communication. Maybe you know the textile production is changing. The efficiency is not alone longer enough. So sustainable productivity requires empowered, skilled, and respected workers. About our program objectives, we establish a very strong link between the productivity and workplace dialogue. We support sustainable business practices and strengthen social values across all supplier network. So the program approach and what we expected. We want to improve the factory KPIs using lean methodologies, foster corporate working relationships, and we want to improve the workplace dialogue and communication. Of course, we want to increase the overall productivity and create shared benefits for both workers and employers. So why connect productivity and workplace dialogue? First, productivity drives factory growth and profitability, and workplace dialogue improves engagement, communication, and workflow. And we know that, and we also believe that the better communication reduces disruptions, boosts output quality. A motivated workforce directly strengthens and overall performance. So that's why we are really excited to have this connection between the lean productivity and the human-centered communication. We believe that to grow together. So why Bestseller invested? We have productivity and social dialogue program based on the learnings from Myanmar and Bangladesh. And we want to implement improvements with key suppliers across major sourcing countries. We have fashion-forward goals, and we want to achieve these goals. And we want to empower the workers, to participate them in daily decisions making related to their task and work environment. We want to strengthen their managerial capabilities, equip the supervisors, the managers with lean tools to enhance efficiency, quality, and problem solving. And also we want to develop a supply chain approach that is both socially responsible and operationally strong. Of course, we have some dialogues with the first part is about to find the correct partner, the correct supplier, and it was Danish Textile in the east side of Turkey. And we had a communication with Yalın Institute, but before that, we had a very development milestones. And first, we had a meeting with Danish Consulate because we are Danish company and we take it very seriously to get their support or their knowledge. So first, we told them about our program. And then we had a meeting with ILO, International Labour Organization in Turkey. So we had a potential support from them and also the guidance for effective workplace dialogue training with them. And then we finalized the program proposal with detailed training modules and anticipated timeline for implementation. We finalized the implementing partners to deliver the trainings. And moving forward, we informed all these details with elaborations to Danish Textile and get their feedback. So we want them to be involved directly to the program and to be really aware of what is expected from them. We had two components. The first one is about the workplace dialogue, and the other part is about lean productivity. So our main job, again, I'm insisting to make them connect with each other. So with the first partner, this is called Notidam, we want to build an inclusive communication practices, strengthening conflict resolution skills, and introduce the recognition and positive feedback rituals. Lean productivity in Turkey improved the employee management systems, increased efficiency through lean tools, and enhanced the leadership problem solving capability. And then we have one shared goal together. These two interventions created a workplace culture here. Workers' voices actively shaped productivity, and productivity gains gave workers greater influence and participation. So with our social dialogue program partners, what we did, they first had a preparing session. This was with the kickoff meetings with the supplier, good practice examples. need analysis planning. So we can say a bit ice-breaking module. And then they had a need analysis. They had in-depth interviews, focus group discussions, analysis and reporting, and stakeholder meeting for sharing needs. So this means that first they understood what is happening and what is the culture in the factory, and then share with us and also the other partner. So they had a very good training implementations, especially inclusive the leadership and effective communication workshops, the peer learning models, and peer educator practice and mentorship. We believe that this peer model is working very well because, to just go there and give the training with some professionals is not working. The workers doing themselves, and they are also conveying their knowledge to the other workers through this way. So the fourth part is about the monitoring and evaluation. I think this is the important part, because we get trainings, we have the process analysis, we have the evaluation reports, and then we need to talk about how we will sustain it, how we will have a sustainability program with this. So what we got after these trainings, we had the need analysis with the key challenges. We understood there are some limited feedback channels, gender bias and recognition gaps, and also the inclusive leadership workshop, HR teams, foremen, worker representatives, lead with empathy and openness. And also, as I mentioned, these peer learning modules trained workers in active listening, constructive feedback, and also the conflict resolution. So the new communication structures a bit changed, and it was very good and very positive for us. The monthly heart-to-heart sessions, we gave them this name, and anonymous feedback boxes. Before, these feedbacks were not given in a correct way, but then we had this anonymous feedback way. And also the team-based recognition rituals. In here on the right side, you see the posters. They were just hang on the walls. And this was also done by the employees about the good feedback and the empathy and also the efficient dialogue. And we had a very good worker survey results. For instance, the 94 apply the skills they learned. 90% prefer using I language for constructive communication, and 68% committed to showing more empathy and support at work. And the recommendations moving forward about the managerial climate, especially for women. Of course, for all employees, but as I mentioned at the beginning, the most of the workers are women, and they really feel that they are working in a safe, supportive, and equitable environment. And the delegation and appreciation, this was very, very important. For instance, like birthdays, Mother's Days, Father's Days, like these kind of celebrations and appreciation rituals changed and encourage simple, frequent acts of recognition to strengthen the belonging. And the third part is about the psychological safety, inclusive communication. Create open and safe communication channels with anonymous feedback boxes. And with these regular team meetings, really promote respectful and transparent dialogue at all levels of the factory. And then the last part is about employee well-being and social connections, especially for the gender stereotypes and support the social cohesion. So the team meetings and peer learning sessions worked very well. The key conflict areas. At the beginning, the inexperienced workers, because this is textile and we had many different kind of process, often struggle with the speed and quantity expectations, creating tension and frustration, because Turkey is a fast fashion country and everything is so really flexible, and the brand's expectations are so fast fashion. So the undervalued roles about this labeling or runner positions, sometimes dismissed or perceived as lower value. Like, for instance, the request from these employees collecting labels in bulk may be overlooked, reducing the motivation. And also the impact. These issues reduce employee moral and damage trust in the workplace. And these were the conflict areas about the social dialogue parts. And we really worked on how to improve it. And then we start with the Lean Institute with the objectives. Develop strong lean leadership. So build the leaders who plan, organize, and guide their teams effectively. Promote safe, correct, and goal-aligned work practices. And strengthen leaders' ability to observe, work, and coach team members. And they create a lean-driven production culture, establish a workplace culture grounded in lean principles, implement a management system that delivers consistent, measurable results. This is from the factory manager. He said, we manage the big business in small teams with goals, because in this area, the factory was not so big. It was just around 250 workers, but they did a big job. And positive contributions to the process, strong leadership and engagement, consistent support from the project leaders and also the factory management, active involvement of Bestseller and Danish textile managers. Because after social dialogue, also we got a very good feedbacks about the managers, and they are very open to understand it about these feedbacks. And also we involved the program and we got these meetings and we understood what is happening in the production. Effective follow-up and coordination was really important. Weekly meetings and also the internal trainings showed strong ownership in closing actions. High enthusiasm among field leaders and also strong training participation without productivity loss. Practical training materials and clear standard operation instructions. Lean transformation presentations shared across the company. And noted down, this social dialogue partner trainings accelerated cultural change. So these clear tools really improved a lot in the production. So the recommendations for continuity: strengthen leadership commitments, maintain full support from top and factory management, ensure factory managers lead and track action follow-ups, develop strong internal capacity, select and assess internal trainers with clear criteria, provide ongoing support and supervision from project leaders, and hold regular weekly coordinating meetings. So we ensure sustainability of the pilot, monitor continuous progress in the Kuljak plant. This is the factory. Use external mentors for auditing and expert guidance across other plants. So we want to expand lean system beyond production into all departments and consider applying this model in additional bestseller supplier factories. So in here, embedding change for the long term. First of all, employee experience teams we had, and they monitor the workplace climate. Monthly dialogue rituals integrated into HR routines. So this will continue in the factory when the partners or when we will leave the factory. And the regular refresher trainings for peer trainers and lean leaders. Inclusive KPIs link leadership behavior, inclusivity, and also the productivity. So the last thing, impact. These structures ensure the program becomes part of the daily rhythm of factory life, not a one-off initiative, but a sustained cultural shift. Shared value for workers and employers. So for the employees, for the workers, they feel that they are working in a safer, fairer workplaces where concerns are heard. inclusion and recognition through rituals and anti-bias efforts, stronger skills in communication, leadership, and lean practices, a deeper sense of belonging and purpose at work. And of course, we have value for employers. Higher productivity and quality with fewer defects and downtime. A stronger leadership pipeline from line foreman to the management. Lower turnover and absenteeism driven by a motivated workforce. Cost saving through better resource utilization and reduced rework. So, as bestseller, we believe that this is not an optional value. We believe this is crucial. And strong dialogue structures and respect for workers' well-being are the foundation of stability and efficiency in our suppliers. Only by ensuring that our partners remain ethical in relation to human rights and workplace practices can we build a supply chain that is both resilient and responsible. What we learned and what comes next. We really learned that dialogue and inclusion strengthen engagement and trust. Women advance into foreman, planning, and team lead roles, shaping quality and productivity decisions. Lean and social dialogue together created clear competitive advantage. And practically, what outcomes? Workplace culture shifted toward shared leadership and transparent teamwork. Productivity improved through better planning, organization, and time use, not pressure. At the beginning, we talked about, I tried to say you about this pressure, the commercial pressure, but we understood with better planning and with better organization, we can find everything and we can really improve without any pressure. So all workers took a more active role in daily decision making. We realized this a lot, especially for the female workers. And moving forward, KPIs on well-being, leadership, inclusivity, quality, and productivity will continue to be monitored and guided. Successful practices will expand other units and suppliers. Ethical, worker-centered practices will continue to strengthen both product quality and business performance. These are the pictures from factory we had with social dialogue partners and we had together with Lean Institute. And you see on the left side, a worker started with doing some gyms to their body flexibility, things like this, the production. And on the middle side, on the picture, you see they are really, especially the female workers, they're really involved a lot and they can hear their voices a lot. And also we got a very good celebration ceremony after we finalized all the program. So I think we designed this program to reinforce each other, the social dialogue and also the productivity side. We didn't just think about the separate topics like quality or the social dialogue. So we want to combine them together. Thank you very much.
Okay, yes, Seçil, thanks for sharing your experiences with us. In this session, Seçil presented us how they combined lean with social dialogue to improve productivity and well-being in textile sector. The case study that she shared with us showed us how important it is to include everyone, beginning from the workers on the shop floor to create a sustainable transformation. It was a really interesting topic, I think. The method that you used in this case to ensure employee participation in a lean transformation. I have a final question for you. What were the most critical factors that enabled you to succeed in this project, Seçil?
I think the biggest factor behind the success was really shared the ownership. All teams were aligned with with the same goal. I mean, the factory owners and also the the production managers, the employees, the HR departments, and of course the partners and us. We were just aligned with the same goal. And when all knows the role and commits, the cultural change becomes really smoother and faster because we cannot really wait everything to be changed over the night. This was a very traditional ways sometimes textile is continuous. So the way how they work was different, and then we asked them to change or transform, but they did a very big job. So I think we believe and we really give them the correct how can I say, the way how to do this, how we can support them. I hope this is the answer for your question.
Okay, thank you. Final question. We have only 2 minutes left.
Okay.
Do you think that workplaces with a high female percentage need to be handled differently to workplaces with majority of men on the shop floor?
I think we don't, I mean, we are not saying that the female, we need to do something, especially with just female workers, but we know that we need to support them and we need to encourage them. So this is also what we saw. They were just on the back before, but then they want to be promoted as the supervisors, or they want to, involve the production, and they were started to get to open dialogue, and they are trying to explain themselves, and also this was a bit a rise of the awareness. They were just in there, but then it worked a lot, and they arise this awareness, and this was the opportunity for them to show themselves.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Seçil. Thanks to everyone. See you
Thank you
later.
very
Bye.
much. Thank you very much. Bye.